Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chun Seon. As MCH students, I believe you have one experience that you can relate to when it comes to our major language classes. Especially in native teachers classes, we sometimes, not always, sometimes we pretend to be understanding what they're saying, but actually we don't. But this is not the reason why we're studying major languages. This is exactly what I had experienced until I discovered this. So from now on, I would like to share what I've realized. When I was 8, my parents sent me to the United States. So I was sent to the United States with my mom, except my father, because he had his business. I attended a public school named George Washington Elementary School, and at first, my school life was terrible. Because of the stress and pressure that I had gotten in Korea, I hated using English. When I had to use it, I had to think of the full sentence in English, write them down in the paper, and just read them. I was even called a robot because I spoke like one. One day, I had to do a presentation about Korea in front of my classmates, teachers, and even parents. Just like this. I prepared very hard. I wrote my scripts for it, skipping meals, and at the age of 8, I slept at 12 o'clock because of it. Anyway, I was fully prepared of my presentation. However, on the day of the presentation, I left my script on my home. Oh my God, what should I do? I froze like a Statue of Liberty on the podium, and I had prepared a lot, and I put an effort into it, but in the end, I couldn't do anything. But I was scared that I had to speak freely without the script, and I was scared that others would make fun of me, of my English. Until the teacher told me to go back to my seat, I felt like an animal in the zoo surrounded by humans. This 8-year-old boy, in that moment, he missed his family so much. He felt like a loser. After the horrible, unforgettable incident, I went home. On the way home, I felt like a zombie. I was starving. I was crying out loud. People stared at me because one Asian boy is crying, but I didn't care. Then, without thinking, I went to my favorite popsicle store where I used to visit every day, and the clerk was a white man with blue eyes. His name was Sam Malnikov. He was Russian, and we had not talked to each other, but we knew each other's faces. He looked into my face and asked if there was any problem. He gave me a chair to sit on and continued the conversation. After he gave me, I told him my entire story. After listening to me, he told me his story. He said he had met lots of people in his store, but before he learned English, he said he couldn't sell other things, but only the popsicles. But after he became fluent at his English, he said he could listen to others' lives and actually become friends with them. Then he added, "Soo-hyun, I can't imagine how upset you are, but if you want, you can come and visit my store every day and share your emotion with me. Then you will feel a lot better." At that very moment, my father's face overlapped with his, and I was like, "Yes, you're my Russian father, you know?" To Sam, English was not a subject. It was a basic thing that all humans can do: communicate. Before meeting Sam, English was never a communication tool for me. I finally found out that it was such a wonderful experience to speak to someone who looks totally different from me and to share my feeling with them. Language existed because of this reason. It was not the subject that I should learn and master and memorize everything. Then I went home with my popsicle. It was the sweetest popsicle I ever tasted. Since that day, I started to talk with my neighbors in English. And in school, I started to have communication with my classmates. English, once a very oppressive demon, now became my best friend ever. English, now, it's part of my life. In MCH, I know it is hard to get rid of the stress that second foreign language gives to students. But if we change our point of view slightly of foreign languages, we can enjoy the real pleasure that those languages give to us. If we see language not as a subject to learn, but as an essential tool of communication, I swear the foreign language will be something different from how you've been viewed it. Imagine yourself talking freely with those languages and sharing your emotions with friends from other countries like Heung Min. You will smile all the time like Heung Min's son, and your language life will be much sweeter than before, just like the popsicle that I had before. Knowing to taste the popsicle will make you free from the pressure of foreign language, because that is how not only me, not how our mutual audience came from zero to here at MCH. Thank you.